Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today, the weather is perfect. It's not too hot, not too cold, so I figured we'd check out one of the more historic and scenic walkways in all of the southern tier. It goes under the Court Street Bridge here in downtown Owego and behind a row of really antique, beautiful shops and old buildings that have great views of the river. So I figured we'd take the walk and check it out. Thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon and YouTube members. We really appreciate you guys. Links are down below if you want to join them. Highly appreciate it. And you don't just have to join on Patreon. There's other ways to support the channel as well. So yeah, let's go take a look. All right, so we're up here in downtown Owego. You've got the historic Parkview Diner right there, the courthouse over there, Lake Street, and all the shops and historic parts are right down the street here. And yeah, so we're gonna start out here at the foot of the trail. From what I read, it's about a half-mile long, and it's part of the Two Rivers Greenway. So if you look right here, they've got the Welcome to Owego, and it gives you kind of a little bit of the history and some photos to check out. The village of Owego affords all of the pleasures of small town life to visitors and locals alike. And then it shows you some of the shops and more historic photos towards the bottom there. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read it. So starting out at the top of the walkway here, one thing I can say already that I really appreciate about this walkway is it's got shade. Like, there's a rail trail in Vestal and Appalachian, and that's really nice, but it's too open. There's not really enough shade there, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, great walkway, I really like it. And of course, we've got the park rules over here, no alcoholic beverages, clean up after your pets, etc., etc. And yeah, there's a lot of little offshoots here and places for you to sit. And I also like that so far it's not just like a paved blacktop walkway, it's got some kind of like concrete treatment over it to give it a more scenic look. And it's also got some lights every now and then built into these little stone bricks here, so that's awesome. And you do get some really phenomenal views of the river. I'd love to come down here when the river's high. I bet that would look really interesting. For those of you who don't quite know the history of Owego, in 2011, there was a really horrific flood here that I think it was like 80 or 85% of the village was flooded. So the river was not kind to Owego. You got this grand little staircase here. All right, now we're coming up to what'll probably be my favorite part, this little tunnel under the bridge here. Now, looking at the stonework and looking at the architectural detail of it, you would think this bridge is 100 years old, but like I might have told you in the intro, this was built in 2003. And I just love how they put a lot of effort into making it look historic and really just kind of making it blend in with the village of Owego. So here we go underneath the bridge. I'm sure it'll get a little echoey in here. Just a little. But yeah, look at this detail. Look at the arches and the fencing. And when big trucks go overhead, you can really hear it. You can hear like a compression noise from the weight going over the bridge. But yeah, just really beautiful detail down here. Apologize, my throat is a little dry. And yeah, they got all these really nice lights along the path here. And shade, like I mentioned earlier. So yeah, all in all, about a half-mile long trail. Here's the eastern-facing side of the bridge. There's just an incredible amount of truck traffic that goes over this bridge to get to Route 96. More than likely, a lot of it's headed for Ithaca, as Ithaca doesn't have a major interstate headed up to it. Very gentle flow of the river today, although I wouldn't want to jump in there. I'm sure you'd get swept away easily. And now we're coming to the part of the trail that goes behind a lot of the historic old shops here in downtown. I just love the brickwork and the balconies that hang overhead. Really cool. And you've got this really cool looking barn door thing over here. I wonder if at one point that was used to load things, or maybe even things off the river. So yeah, there's a lot of little shops and restaurants in these buildings behind us. And this is a really beautiful walk on a nice day. You know, days like today, it's not too hot. It's not blazing cold or freezing cold. But yeah, really nice back here. Definitely would encourage people to check this out. And it looks like we're coming up on a really nice, interesting looking spiral staircase. We got a fake little owl up here. And man, there must have, skunk must have gotten in a fight back here overnight because it smells really bad.
Sorry about you. That silver spiral staircase
Yeah.
leads up to a restaurant that you can eat outside. See the umbrellas up there?
Yeah.
There are tables that you can eat
I
outside.
think I used to know the name of it. Do you know the name of it?
Kalash.
Kalash. Okay, cool. Yeah. But here's one of the spiral stairs. Oh, and there's another set up there, too. This is a really elaborate set of balconies back here. So there you go. You heard a tip from that gentleman that there's a restaurant up there. There used to be a restaurant here called The Cellar as well, and I don't know if it's still here or not. Maybe I'll have to look it up and put the details down in the video here. Here's that staircase the gentleman was referring to that leads up to the restaurant. Another really cool looking staircase. They've got this like crazy curved railing that helps you get up there. No smoking, no pets, private property. So anyway, I think once it curves around, you're out in another park. The trail ends and begins on both sides at different parks. And if I remember correctly, the name of the parks is fairly hard to say. Maybe I'll put that in the video as well. Looks like there's another restaurant or something up here. But yeah, so many decks back here, and I don't blame them, you know, they got a great view of the river from here. And the restaurant, you know, if I was eating outside, I would love the view. I think it'd be well worth it. Got a little staircase up here leading out to the street. But we're going to keep going down this path and see exactly where it comes out. Oh, that's interesting. So if you look straight down the river here, there's a ton of historic homes along Main Street that if you keep going down the street, you'll end up back in Appalachian and Endicott. But it looks like somebody's got a little boat launch there. That's cool. This blue house in front of us has another set of multi-tiered decks. Really nice looking. Okay, so the path just leads back to where the stairs were. A nice little bench swing. Let's see what this sign says. Native American Roots. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read that. And so yeah, that's our walk on the scenic Owego Riverwalk here in downtown Owego, New York. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe down below. And here's another interesting little sign at the foot of the walkway. Again, feel free to pause if you want to read that. But yeah, so we're back up where all the shops are. And yeah, that was the Owego Riverwalk. And be sure to give the video a thumbs up, hit subscribe like I said before, and we'll see you guys in the next video.